Hello students, a warm welcome to all of you. In this module, we are going to discuss 10th chapter in our grade 10 CBSE curriculum, and of course my favorite topic, a topic related to plane geometry, that is circles. So in this chapter, of course, the weightage wise, I think we can get maximum of 6 marks from this chapter, but this chapter is quite interesting and very limited concept was given in our CBSE syllabus, CBSE curriculum, right. So what is this topic is all about? Of course, we already discussed in grade 9 about some properties of chord and some applications which can be solved by using properties of chord as well as properties of arc and all. So in this module we discuss about the properties of tangents, that is called tangential properties. Tangential properties. Exclusively we discuss about what do you mean by tangent to the circle, right? And of course we have some important problems itself. Let us try to understand. First of all, what do you mean by a circle? So the chapter that we are going to discuss now is circles. Okay. So what do you mean by a circle? Everybody says that circle is a circular, um, a plane figure with curves without any line segments and all. There are different definitions they give, but as per the definition of a circle, because circle definition or any definition is most powerful. If you can understand the definition, then you can play with the concept, otherwise the concept will play with you, right. So what is the meaning of a circle? See here, suppose I take one particular point, okay, this is one particular point, and I am going to find out one more point which is at some 10 centimeters distance, okay. I am taking one point, this is the fixed point, let it be f, and I am taking one more point which is at 10 centimeters distance from this particular point. Did you understand what I am telling now? I am taking one point which is at 10 centimeters distance from this particular fixed point. So where am I taking 10 centimeters distance? That is what the point here. See, I am taking one more point here which is at 10 centimeters distance, means the distance from here to here is 10 centimeters. This is one point. Can I take one more point which is at 10 centimeters distance from this fixed point? Yes, of course I can take. Maybe in this direction I can take one more point. Maybe here I can take one more point. Maybe here I can take one more point, where all the distances from the fixed point is same, right. Like that, how many number of points that I can find which are at exactly 10 centimeters distance from the fixed point? See, all these points which are at 10 centimeters from the fixed point, right. How many number of points are there? Obviously there are infinitely many number of points which are at 10 centimeters distance from the given fixed point. So all these points together constitute a circle. So how do I define a circle? So circle is the set of all the points, the collection of all the points which are equidistant from a fixed point. That distance can be 10 centimeters or 2 centimeters or 2.5 centimeters, it can be anything. So all the set of points which are equidistant from a fixed point is said to be a circle. That is what the definition of a circle. And if we can understand the definition of a circle clearly, then you can answer the questions that I am going to pose you now, right. See, all these points together constitute a circle, all these points, right. So when you observe all the points may be like this, right. And there is one fixed point, let it be the fixed point. And if you take one point and the distance from that one point to the fixed point, let this point is A, then the distance from that point to any point over there is said to be radius of the circle, okay. And this is the circle is the combination of infinitely many number of points which are equidistant from a fixed point. Okay. See, if you draw a circle in a plane, then the circle divides the plane into 3 mutually disjoint set of points. Did you understand? 3 mutually disjoint set of points. What are those 3 mutually disjoint set of points? For example, I am taking one point here. Let this point is R. See, this point definitely not lie inside the circle. This point lie outside the circle. If you take any point here, then definitely all the points are the point belong to its exterior. So that first part or first region is said to be the points belong to exterior of the circle. Suppose if I take one more point here, let this point is something, this is for example M. So M is a point lie inside the circle. And if I take one point here, then this point B is said to be the point lying on the circle, right. So the circle in which it is drawn, the plane is divided into 3 mutually disjoint set of points. Set of points lie outside the circle, set of points lie on the circle, set of points lie inside the circle. Set of points lie inside the circle. These three are 3 mutually disjoint set of points. Now I have a question. That question is the center of the circle belong to the circle or not? You got my point? Is the center of the circle belong to the circle or not? Then we will definitely say that center of the circle belong to it, because without the center we cannot draw the circle. Everything is correct, but center of the circle does not belong to the circle. You know how? As per the definition of a circle, set of all the points which are equidistant from a fixed point. Set of all the points which are equidistant from a fixed point is said to be a circle. It means all these points together called a circle. Is your center is one among all the points? Not at all. The center of the circle lie inside the circle. Therefore, center of the circle does not belong to the circle. Center of the circle belong to its interior. Then what are all the points called? The points belong to the circle. Whatever the point that you can take on the circumference of circle is said to be only the point belong to the circle. Otherwise, that point belong to either interior of the circle or exterior of the circle. That is what is the importance of the definition, right. So this is what is the definition of a circle. Set of points which are equidistant from a fixed point is said to be a circle. And what are all the points called? The points belong to the circle. Whatever the points lying on the circle are said to be the points belong to the circle. Otherwise, those points belong to its interior or exterior. Correct? Now, let us try to understand some important properties of chord. We already learned properties of chord in our grade 9. Just try to recall them. Okay. So, for example, I have a circle. Okay. There is a circle. This is one circle. And what do you mean by a chord of a circle? Chord of a circle is a line segment joining any 2 points on the circumference is said to be a chord. Okay. So, this is one chord and this is another chord and this is another chord. Like that we can draw infinitely many number of chords. But out of all these chords, what is the greatest chord of a circle? The greatest chord of a circle is the line segment passing through the center. So, that is what you can call it as a diameter. So, the diameter is the greatest chord or the longest chord of a circle, right. And coming to the next one, let us try to understand some few important properties of chord. Those few important properties of chord are, let us have a circle. Okay. This is the center of the circle and this is one chord. Suppose if you draw one perpendicular from the center to a chord, this is a perpendicular from the center to a chord, then that perpendicular from the center to any chord will be the perpendicular bisector of the chord, will be the perpendicular bisector. If you want, you can check. Let us join these two. After joining both of them, this is the radius and this is also the radius. This is right angle and this is also right angle, and this is the common side for both the two triangles. Therefore, those two triangles are congruent by RHS congruence. Therefore, by CPCD, this part is equal to this part. So, what does it mean? If you draw any perpendicular to a chord from the center, then it bisects the chord. Then it bisects the chord. And one more very important property of a chord. For example, there are two equal chords. So, this chord is equal to this chord. These two chords are equal chords. And now, this chord, let it be AB, is making an angle at the center. So, this is the angle made by the chord at the center. And this angle, for example, PQ is also making an angle at the center. So, what can you infer about those two angles? These two chords making equal angles at the center since they are equal chords. So, equal chords subtends equal angles at the center. And conversely, if two chords makes equal angles at the center, then those chords also equal. That is, of course, we already discussed in grade 9. And of course, like that we have some important properties. Okay. Now, let us try to understand what are all the concepts given in our grade 10 mathematics, grade 10 circles exclusively, right. I am going to take one circle. Okay. So, let us have a circle. This is one circle. Okay. In this circle, this is the center of the circle. Let the center of the circle is equal to some f. I am taking one particular point on the circumference. So, this is one particular point on the circumference. Let this particular point is, for example, P. And if I can draw one line passing through that point P and it touches the circle, So, this is what is a point passing through a point P which touches the circle. If any line which touches the circle in only one point, then that line is said to be tangent to the circle. What do you call that? Tangent to the circle. So, tangent is nothing but it is a line which touches the circle in only one point. Circle has infinitely many number of points on its circumference, right? So, that how many number of tangents that can be drawn to a circle from a point, from all the points on the circle, there are infinitely many number of tangents. This is one tangent, this is one tangent, this is one tangent, like that. There are infinitely many number of tangents that can be drawn to a circle, right. And now you see this point P is the connecting point to the tangent as well as the circle. So, that is why this point P is said to be point of contact of tangent to the circle. What do you call that? Point of contact, of tangent to the circle. That point P where the tangent touches the circle is said to be point of contact of tangent to the circle. And for the given circle, how many number of tangents that can be drawn? We can draw infinitely many number of tangents to a circle, right. Now, let us try to understand the properties of tangents of a circle. They are called tangential properties of a circle, right. The very first property that we are going to discuss here is, just observe, this is one circle, and what is the very first property of tangent to the circle? I am going to draw one tangent through one particular point here. So, for example, this is one tangent. Okay. So, if this is the tangent, like I am drawing, just it is intersecting, yes, this is the tangent to the circle. Let this point is equal to some P and the center of the circle is equal to some F. F is the center of the circle, this is the tangent. Now, I am going to join P and F. When I join P and F, now I just want to know whether that FP is perpendicular to the tangent or not. That is the very first thing that we are going to discuss here is the tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. Tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. That is the very first property of tangent of a circle, right. And of course, this is very important 4 marks problem also. What is that? Prove that tangent is perpendicular to the radius or radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So prove that tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact, through the point of contact. So in order to prove this, I am going to take some points on the tangent. So this is the tangential line, let it be L. L is the tangent. So I am going to take a few points. Few points are nothing but one point that side and one point this side of the tangent. For example, I am taking one point here, let it be A, and one more point here, let it be B. What am I going to do here? I am going to join F and A. So when I join F and A, there is another line formed, okay, and in order to join F and A, definitely that line intersects circle at one point. Let that point is equal to some M, okay. I am going to consider the line segment FA, consider FA, okay. I can write that FA as FM plus MA, correct. FA is equal to FM plus MA. But what is this FM here? FM is obviously the radius. So which is equal to radius plus MA. Radius plus something obviously more than radius, right? Suppose radius is equal to 5. 5 plus something is always more than 5. Therefore, FA is more than radius. Okay, this is the first thing. And now let me take the point B and I am going to join F and B. So after joining F and B, then you can identify one point which intersects the circle, let it be some N. Okay. Now I am going to consider the another point. What is the another point there? Consider another line FB. I can write this FB as Fn plus Nb, which is equal to Fn plus Nb. But what is this Fn here again? Fn is going to be the radius. So radius plus Nb, obviously radius plus something must be more than the radius. It means Fa is also more than radius. See here we got Fa is more than radius as well as Fb is also more than radius. So Fa more than radius, Fb more than radius, what does it mean? It means if you take any point on the tangent except the point of contact, that line segment joining point to that center is always more than radius. Always more than radius means what? Radius is only the shortest distance from the center of the circle to the point of contact. Therefore, radius is only the shortest distance. You can call it in a mathematical language that it is a perpendicular to the tangent through the point of contact. Therefore, from 1 and 2 we can say that, from 1 and 2 we can say that radius, that is Fp, is only the shortest distance. Fp is only the shortest distance from center F to the tangent L. So therefore, shortest distance is nothing but the perpendicular, right? Fp is perpendicular to the tangent L through the point of contact P. Understand? So this way we can prove that tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact, and this problem given sometimes in board examination for 4 marks also. This is the way to answer the problem. And moving on to the next one. So the next problem is going to be, or the next property is going to be, how many number of tangents that can be drawn to a circle from an external point. How many number of tangents that can be drawn to a circle from an external point. Of course, the same thing we discuss again in the next chapter called constructions. There we see how to construct tangents, but in general, if you consider a circle, this is a circle, and you have an external point, let it be the external point, for example P. How many number of tangents that can be drawn to a circle from this external point P? So that is common sense. We can draw, this is one tangent and this is one more tangent that can be drawn to a circle from external point, and these 2 points are points of contacts. So this point of contact is A and this point of contact is B. So now what is our next property of tangent? The next property of tangent is prove that lengths of tangents drawn from an external point of a circle are equal. This is the very basic and important property of tangents. And of course, whatever the properties that we are discussing, all are standard questions which were already given in board examination and frequently comes in board examination, right? So prove that the lengths of tangents drawn from an external point of a circle are equal. So what are the lengths of tangents here? Lengths of tangents from a point P. PA is one tangent and PB is one more tangent, can be considered as the lengths of tangents. So we need to prove that lengths of tangents drawn from an external point of a circle are equal. So what do you mean by that? You need to prove PA is equal to PB. Okay. So that is what is RTP. RTP is PA is equal to PB. So in order to prove PA is equal to PB, we need a small construction that, of course, this is the center of the circle, let it be F. I am going to join F and A and joining F and B, and then I am going to join F and P also, right? So we already discussed about a tangent as well as the radius. What is the relationship between a tangent as well as radius in just previous theorem, that radius is perpendicular to the tangent through the point of contact, and here also radius is perpendicular to the point of contact. Now once you observe both the triangles, what kind of triangles both are? Obviously they are congruent triangles by RHS congruence. You know how? Right angle is equal to right angle, hypotenuse is the common hypotenuse for both the two triangles, and AF is equal to BF, that is radii. So that this triangle and this triangle both are congruent by RHS congruence. So here we write, in triangle PAF and triangle PBF, in these two triangles, angle PAF is equal to 90 degrees, which is equal to angle PBF, so that is right angle, and PF is equal to PF, that is the common hypotenuse, so hypotenuse, and AF is equal to BF, which is equal to the radius, so that is the side. So by using RHS congruence, triangle PAF is congruent to triangle PBF. So since two triangles are congruent, by CPCT we can say that PA is equal to PB. Therefore by CPCT PA is equal to PB. This way we can prove that lengths of tangents drawn from an external point of a circle are equal. And from these two triangles we can extract a few more things. Of course they are very much useful things. By CPCT you can say that this angle is equal to this angle and this angle is equal to this angle also. We are going to prove that in the next property of tangents of a circle, right? Hope you understand. This is about few set of properties or tangential properties of circle. Hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you.